You're listening to the Daily Nugget, dnugget.com for April 28th. It's Jesus Religious Sunday.
Woo!
And I do want to go back and real quick mention that we totally forgot to wish you a happy Easter like 4 weeks ago.
Oh, no, we said happy Easter.
Oh, did we? Okay. Because we record these a little in advance, so sometimes we're a little behind on the things. So
we are either 2 to 3 weeks ahead.
Yes, depending on how things go. And so this is... I'm Andy. Janelle's here too, who enjoys Jesus and laser churches. And Sam is here too.
And guinea pigs.
And guinea pigs, yes. Cooey. That's what it's called. Makes you that song, right? Cooey.
Never heard of it.
Peruvian delicacy.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, but I don't remember the song.
Cooey.
No.
That's not the song, Janelle.
Cooey. Then Bill Hader's doing the little dance. It's a meme.
Okay. You boys, sometimes, I don't know. Where's Jenn when I need her?
She's
not. Good question.
We miss Jenn.
Jenn, we miss you. The history of snake handling in religion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Janelle, have you ever handled a snake?
No.
Religious or not?
No.
Have you handled a religious snake?
No.
Have you ever killed a snake?
No.
Oh. I'm kind of surprised by that, you living on the ranch and all.
Oh, right. I've seen plenty of them. Right. I have. Oh, they scare me. I run the other way.
Snakes are not my favorite.
No. In fact, that is the reason why I mow as much as I do around the Keith Ranch, is because I don't like snakes creeping out from the tall grass.
Have you ever chopped one up in the mower?
Yes.
And you heard the tuk 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 tuk.
I have. It was an accident. It was accidental, but yeah, I was really glad to see it being
accidentally on purpose.
I'm gonna say, listen, it's not an accident if I see a snake. Well, I mean, in Minnesota, all we have is garter snakes, which aren't are gardener snakes, whatever.
Gardener. I don't know.
Garden snakes.
Garter.
Now I have to look it up.
Oh, it's garden snakes.
No, it's garter. I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, maybe you've got different snakes in Minnesota.
Garter.
Yeah. Well, see, we have they're the only snakes that live up here, thankfully.
Ugh.
Oh, I guess they have a mild venom in their saliva. But for humans, the bite's not dangerous.
It's for rats.
Wow. Many handlers can attest to garter snakes gently biting in protest.
Ooh.
But they do not often break the skin.
Ooh. Well, there is such a thing as a garden snake, too. But anyway, I see the pictures. You are right. They look really, really vicious.
I think all snakes look vicious. I can't tell you the snake that I ever looked at and thought, oh, that's cute. I want to bring that home and make it a pet.
True.
When you type in garden snake, it says including results for garter snake.
Oh.
So I think that the actual name is garter snake.
I stand corrected.
Thanks, Google.
We got Google schooled and not homeschooled. Jen would have known that.
Yeah, Jen definitely would have known that. We miss you, Jen.
No.
All right, so many sources credit Tennessean George Went Hensley. Have you ever noticed that when people use 3 names, they're weird or serial killers? For the most part, you're like, 3 names, George Went Hensley. He introduced snake handling into the Protestant Christianity vein of Christianity in the early 20th century, where he first brought a rattlesnake to a church service in 1909.
Yikes.
And the reason was, do we know why he introduced snake handling?
I'm going to say...
So they arose from a literal application of the signs of Jesus' disciples mentioned in the biblical Gospel of Mark. So Mark 16, 17, 18. It says, in my name that shall they cast out devils and speak with new tongues and take up serpents. And if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. So it kind of comes with it. It all comes in that same vein. Pentecostal, speaking in tongues, which we've talked about before.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So apparently, it says no one paid attention to the signs in that passage.
Actually, we haven't talked about speaking in tongues.
We haven't? I thought we did.
We did, but we lost that episode.
Oh, the lost episode. Should have bought a Honda. That's sad.
We might have to talk about that again. So.
Yeah. Put it in the notes. Yeah, we had a few episodes that sadly went away. So I love, according to encyclopedia.com, they said that no one had paid attention to the signs in this passage in Mark until 1909. So you're telling me that for 1800 years of the Bible being around, at least the New Testament, no one thought, I'm going to handle snakes like it says in the Bible?
Well,
wow. That is a good question. I'm looking at the verse.
Yes.
I want to go. We got to take this verse in context.
It's Jesus Religious Sunday. Go for it. This is the time to bust out the Bible.
Okay. Well, it's Jesus saying these words.
Yeah.
Let's go back up to 15. He says, and then he told them, go into all the world and preach the good news to everyone. Anyone who believes and is baptized will be saved, but anyone who refuses to believe will be condemned. These miraculous signs will accompany those who believe. They will cast out demons in my name. They will speak in new languages. They will be able to handle snakes with safety. And if they drink anything poisonous, it won't hurt them. They will be able to place their hands on the sick and they will be healed. So So it's Jesus giving like a charge to, go out and do the Great Commission, which is, preach the good news to everyone.
The interesting thing is, and I don't know if you see this in your when you're reading it, Janelle, but I knew this was the case. There's a little note here, though. It says that the most ancient manuscripts of Mark conclude with verse 16:8. Later manuscripts add one or both of the following endings. So this is an ending that was added on at some other time.
It could be.
It's kind of I've always thought this was weird because I remember reading this before. I'm like, it does seem a little weird. Well, this is how Mark ended the earliest, most ancient manuscripts.
Yeah.
The women fled from the tomb, trembling and bewildered, and they said nothing to anyone because they were too frightened. It is kind of like a... It does just kind of end there.
Yeah.
So do you think someone else came by and was like, maybe we should just,
Well, they keep finding... They find new manuscripts and stuff in the archaeological digs and whatnot. I'm not super privy to any of that information. So, yeah, who knows? Maybe they found one that had a more complete version. I should know this stuff because I went to Northwestern and I technically have a Bible degree, but I'm not as educated about that part as I probably should.
Well, isn't that the time when we would we end up skipping it and going to get Chinese buffet?
Well, that was Pentateuch, so that was.
Well, I just don't think that he meant it in a literal sense. If you weren't to take up serpents just to claim that you were a Christian or whatever, or that you could handle snakes, I think they said if you run across the snake and it bites you or something, you would be able to lay your hands on them and heal the sick, because the Bible says that we are able to do greater things than him, who is Jesus. So I don't think that it meant that we were all supposed to be okay with handling snakes.
Right.
Well,
I
obviously
think somebody misinterpreted it.
Because what did I see in this article? Multiple people have died.
Yeah,
handling
exactly.
snakes.
That's dangerous. It's dangerous.
I mean, it's kind of the equivalent of kind of the witch trials, like if if the woman dies, she's not a witch, but if she doesn't die, she's a witch.
Right.
We should kill her.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, and surprise, surprise, people take the Bible out of context.
Well, so, I think the thing that, and I think the thing is here, if you think about, I think you're right, Janelle. The charge is Jesus saying, "Hey, go."
Mm-hmm.
It's not you're staying in your church and you're holding onto a snake.
No.
Like you're going out, and I think that's something where, if you there's a lot of that in the Bible in the New Testament.
The Great Commission. Yes.
Right. They went out and crazy things happen. You think about Paul getting shipwrecked, and he had to deal with snakes.
He had a snake bite him. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. So, like, literally, if you're doing the work, you'll be protected. But if you're just kind of like showing, this is almost like dumb guy things, like, "Hey, check out what I can do."
Yeah. Right. Well, and God used those as confirming signs, like he was filled with the Spirit, and that people would be able to see a miracle right before your eyes, and so that would be enough to change them to believe in God, like God was real, and He is. So
disciples went, that's how it ends. The disciples went everywhere and preached. The Lord worked through them, confirming what they said by many miraculous signs.
Mm-hmm.
Although, let's just go ahead and declare this: God doesn't have to wow us with His amazing signs. He owes us nothing, right? Mm-hmm. We beg for confirmation. Please show me what you want me to do, but all the while we know what the right thing to do is. We just don't do it. So
and how many of us get that and still don't?
Yeah, exactly. So don't take that the wrong way. We are saying it's our job, everyone's job, all believers' job is to go and make disciples and, represent God in the best way we can.
And if that means you're holding on to some snakes while you're doing it, Janelle?
I would call that an ignorant person.
Now, I've been reliably told that at Laser Church, you'll do anything short of sin.
True, but I've never seen our pastor grapple with any snakes, nor would he condone such behavior.
He could. He's buff, and I know he does Brazilian jiu-jitsu, so he could like wrestle that thing to the ground.
Well, he could.
And put it in a full Nelson, even without arms.
Submit to Jesus. Submit to Jesus.
Really doubt that he would.
Well, you're missing out on a very, very important demographic.
Well, you don't do that in your church,
reptiles. Andy. We talked about this. We have a reptile guy come every summer. Yep. So yes, we are doing our part.
Okay.
Non-venomous snakes, though.
All right. Vacation Bible School, right? Is that what you do?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. That's what we'll call it. Yeah.
For the children. All right.
For the children. And that's the nugget. Snakes for the children.
Oh my goodness.
Nugget
what have we become? I don't get it.
Children, that'll be the name.
If you are a biblical scholar and would like to expound on the end of Mark, nuggethatemail@gmail.com. If you are a former professor of Northwestern and had Sam Turnberg in your class and you're very disappointed in his biblical knowledge, nuggethatemail@gmail.com.
Oh, there's plenty of those.
If you're Sam's dad and you're listening and you're disappointed with his biblical knowledge, nuggethatemail@gmail.com.
There's one of those.
Or just text Sam and tell him that you found the piece that he broke off of the toilet.